Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Don't miss out on our comic book creator interviews, including our monthly Chichester chats with comic book legend D.G. Chichester, superhero movie brackets in our search for the worst comic book movie of all time, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
This is Luca Perich, and you're listening to the Capes and Lunatics podcast.
Recording has started. Ladies and gentlemen, in a world of capes and lunatics, gods and monsters, there come threats. Threats from within, perhaps, that are too great for any hero alone to face. In those times shall rise a team of Avengers. And this is Avengers Declassified. Welcome, listeners and viewers and readers. I am your host, Charlie, the Professor Esser, wearing my Next Large Object t-shirt. And with me, as always, is the Blue-Eyed Bomber from the Burg of Pits.
Phil Podcast Perich.
Welcome, Philip. Welcome once again. Tonight we're talking Avengers 291 through 293.
Yes.
Just right in the meaty part of the Druid is the worst human being ever. Dr. Anthony Druid, which is, what's crazy about that is his name was actually Druid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just his family name. They're just the Druids. And I don't know, man. I never met a guy named Druid, but maybe you have. And if your last name is Druid, I hold no ill will towards you. But your cousin Anthony, he's causing trouble. Tonight's episode 291, Let's Party. We open up with our Dr. Druid. I know you can see all this because I've got that. There we go. Maybe that. There we go. That's
I got
something. Philip's got images. Yes. Dr. Druid in the shadows of something. He is dreaming. He's having what the priests in Catholic school would tell us is a naughty dream. It's a dream that makes him feel very powerful and strong, but it makes us all wonder what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A scantily clad blonde, kissing him and then crowning him,
Oh, crowning him and doing the whole, you're so fancy, man, doing the kneel. Then he wakes up because, those superheroes doing cleanup work. That's ruining my beauty sleep. And it is Dane Whitman, the Black Knight. And so here's an interesting, I don't know that much about the legend of the Black Knight. Is it that he is 200 years or 2,000 years old? Is it that he is a normal person, but that the sword imbues him with his ancestors' history?
I'm trying to remember at this point if he had. I mean, I think he's a regular guy with a regular lifespan, but at some point, I can't remember if it already happened or if it's going to happen upcoming. But I know he spends time in the past, like he time travels. So I don't know if that's,
Yeah, because like it's just something to notice because She-Hulk's commenting about like his weird behavior, like he's getting all these and thousies, And it's
well, as we'll see, I don't know if that's like part of the curse too, making him more curmudgeon and like maybe less emotional and stuff.
Yeah, and we get right into the making Captain Marvel feel bad about herself. And again, always when Captain Marvel feels bad about herself, who's right there, Philip? Who's right there?
Dr. Druid.
Dr. Druid. And then we got Marina and Namor coming out of the drink, drinking deeply of one another, which at a certain point even She-Hulk finds a little okay. Yeah.
I know. Oh, you've already the rest of you've already cleaned up. We're gonna go for a morning swim.
Yeah. Although what was funny is they weren't done yet because they literally say we just have one more barge to load.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, okay. Well, since just one barge, you don't need us then." It's like we did load 4 others, so
Well, the kings aren't into the manual labor. Namor, we see, Thor, Prince of Asgard, waking up.
yeah, waking up late, getting his orange juice and muffins from the Jarvis.
Who's back? Yes, after the
Yeah,
attack on the mansion. Yes.
because man's got to work. He's a workaholic. Let's face it. This is what he does. But as good news has it, as an attempt to repair social relations with the Avengers, they've been invited to a gala in New York, one attended by none other than Ed Koch, and apparently a blonde lady who Druid mistakes for his mystery woman. But then she turns around and she's got glasses. That can't possibly be his magical love interest.
It's so funny when the Avengers show up in formal wear, but meanwhile Captain Marvel and Black Knight have like the domino masks and stuff.
Yeah, and again, it's weird because literally most of them don't even have secret identities, and it always, this is like one thing that you can give to the MCU is they really, and I think Marvel has been like, except for like Spider-Man or somebody, they've been like secret identities. Really, we're still doing those.
Yeah, pretty much, except for like Spider-Man and Daredevil. I don't know how.
Yeah, it's like you kind of have to be like really street level, and but like because everyone else, no one cares. It's like that scene in Jurassic Park. No one cares, you can tell, but Marina, she eats the goldfish, and that leads to her to go kind of off and do a mutation thing, as you do. And then we catch up with Kang.
Kang.
Good old Kang. And it's interesting because that's an interesting aspect of Kang, especially as right now we are seeing Kang as that immortal man of all time and all that. But you realize that without like all of his tech and stuff, he is just a low rent Doctor Doom. He is like super smart, but like without any equipment. I mean, he may be able to, make a nuclear reactor out of coconuts, but the fact of the matter is, he still needs the coconuts. He's not he is not a god tier character. And
I mean, depending on the story, he's a decent war general, but yeah, his big advantage is his future tech. Yeah.
Yeah, and in this one, he gets the drop on him, and like I don't. Did he just kill like a younger version of himself, or possibly a version of a son he might have?
I mean, at least it seems like a child. I mean, that's the way.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it might have been. I think they said it was a war orphan, but a war orphan no more because now he's dead. I don't know. Part of me hopes that kid like lived and just like, but the other kings just left him there, and it's like, oh wow, they left me in this situation, and now I'm going to one day extract my revenge. So there's a nice dangling plot thread for someone to pick up later. Call him a Kanglet, which I thought was cute. And then we realize because there are these storms happening and ships are being lost, Philip, and there's a Leviathan monster attacking. But you know what? That's no Leviathan monster. That was my wife, says Namor.
Yeah, because it's like 2 weeks after the party. Yeah, there's Namor's missing, Marina's missing. Yeah, and the Avengers are just like, yeah, this Leviathan's attacking, and it's just hitting ships, hitting islands, and yep. At the end, Namor's like, they're like, we got to kill it. No, that is my wife.
That's my wife. My wife, the dragon. Okay.
Right for Florida.
Here we go. Namor is the Florida man. Welcome to Avengers 292. It came from the depths. And we do see Namor, punching Thor as you do. Captain Marvel uses a plasma burst on her. But, even she knows, she figured out, oh, this is Marina. So maybe we need to not kill her since she is a person we know and she has a mental status that maybe we can reach. And Drew was like, nope, kill her now, kill her
Yeah.
now.
That's the big debate with the Avengers. Yeah, it's like, do we kill this thing right away before it kills more people and causes all this property
Yeah.
damage? Or it's just like, but no, she's an innocent victim because basically it's just her alien DNA or whatever that caused her to mutate and stuff.
Yeah, although it's her DNA, so And I like that we see Namor actually. I love Namor. He's trying to make a go of it. Look, this is my wife. He's a loyal guy, man.
Mm-hmm.
He's a loyal guy. Um, you know, it's neat. It would have been nice if I don't know, man. I like how this story goes for this character. It gives me pause. It gives me pause. I'll say that.
Yeah.
But it is nice seeing Namor at least trying to reach out to her, trying to find whatever is left of the woman he loves in there, and that's good. And then we get back to Kang, who actually is from another Council of Kangs. But this is like the big Council of Kangs.
Like the variants and yeah.
Yeah, which is interesting to me just in the sense that it's like, oh, okay, so it's that infinite finite curve, and I also like
What you figure, because didn't they at this point they had already done, like, didn't they do that, like, that council cross time Kang, so like different timelines, but then it's like each timeline's probably spanning off alternate realities and
yeah, and then you just get just the Kangs. So I love the one who has an orange face. I think that's a cool character. Although now that I look at it, man,
looks like a lizard or like a dinosaur or something.
well, I was going to say, he kind of looks like a monkey. I was just trying to oh, no, that's the green faced one. Oh, see, okay, so there are a couple who don't wear. So there's some with the blue masks, some with the purple masks, and some who I guess are not supposed to be wearing masks at all. Although the guy, because there's a guy who kind of looks like he's got a chimpanzee face. I don't know, but anyway, so they accept him. They accept him. One of them. I do like we get Jen Walters being a lawyer in this because as Dana Whitman says, you speak like a true servant of the law, and not for nothing, people get too down on the law, in my opinion. She's a lawyer, but that doesn't mean that she's not doing good.
Well, she says, Marina's not responsible for her actions, just like if someone was mentally incompetent or,
Mm-hmm. And Thor, again, being the voice of reason that he always is, makes the point. It's like, dude, we have a lot of heroes we've got a lot of people on our speed dial. One of whom is like the world's greatest biochemist. So if anyone might be able to think of something, maybe we should call that guy.
That guy that helped me found the team.
Yeah, Hank Pym. Which, and again, this is goes to Druid's short-sightedness. As much as this entire story is meant to build up that, Druid's the guy who does what needs to be done. You can see the evil being set up in this. You can see how this is all going to come out at the end, because at the end, he's failing. He's failing in his job.
Yeah.
Because his job is to find a solution, and his solution is I'm a hammer and you are a nail.
Yeah.
And everything's a nail.
I mean, I do like that Thor actually backed up Captain Marvel in this issue, though, because he's like, the longer we delay, the more people are going to be in danger. He's like, we've never run things with just the majority vote. He's like, Captain Marvel's the leader. We're going to do what she says.
Well, exactly. I mean, that is and that is an important combat perspective. We can't be second guessing everything the leader says, although sometimes you do have to. You don't need to charge up Hamburger Hill for the 15th time. If the last 14 times it has not gone well.
Yeah.
Namor tries to reason with the soldiers and reason with his wife. It does end poorly for the soldiers.
Marina just rips through these ships.
Yeah, well, she's a Leviathan, and we do see that the heroes do save most of the Navy people, but apparently not enough to make it worth the fact that this is one of your people who's destroying everything. That's not good. But of course, this is one more chance for Druid to undermine Captain Marvel, and we do see Namor at the bottom of the ocean.
Well, yeah, and those soldiers, I mean, those sailors, they were just basically like, oh, the Avengers let it slip. That's Namor's wife. And he's like, wait a minute, you mean Namor, who, not too long ago declared war on the human race before he became an Avenger?
Yeah, I mean that is a very real thing because, no, we remember we fought him a few weeks ago, man. That's the thing about superheroes. Like when you're at that level, it's like, all's forgiven. You helped us that one time with that one thing, so we're gonna just let it all go. And that brings us to 293. And it is now all-out war with the Leviathan. Interestingly enough, it almost appears like Druid is intentionally leading the Leviathan to engage with the Atlanteans to sort of cement Namor's participation in this. It's like the manipulativeness of Druid in this is really uncomfortable.
Yeah, and again, I mean, like, is it totally him, or is it the is some of this like the mental control of this mystery woman?
I mean, it could be column A, could be column B, but
I think it's a little both. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like I said, I don't think it would be as effective on him if it wasn't
Yeah, no.
for the fact that
I think he's always had these thoughts, but she's like, let's crank it up to 11.
Exactly. They do start hitting Marina with the Pym particle harpoons.
Oh yeah, Hank Pym came up with a cure in these basically these huge hypodermic harpoons. Yeah.
Yeah. But it does cure her, and Namor swoops her out of the ocean. Although that may not end as well as we hope. Meanwhile, Council of Kangs is all very happy to have Kang on there. The one Kang says, you can call me Nebula. And, says Nebula says, well, we all just, because it makes sense. They can't all be Kang.
Yeah.
So, we all pick new names that way. Everyone can, it gets less confusing. And he chooses Fred. As in Fred. And I just love the idea that there should be a Kang called Fred. That he named himself after Fred Flintstone is delightful too. But that, there should be a character named Fred and Freddie Kang will answer that question. So that's kind of neat. They do wind up reverting Marina back, but she relatively quickly transforms back into a Leviathan. That is when Captain Marvel turns herself into pure plasma to attack her. And Namor basically takes the sword away from
the Black Knight,
Dane. Yeah, from Dane. Because he says, if anyone's going to kill my wife, it's going to be me. But obviously the Leviathan blood probably was not the best thing to...
Well, I think any blood was going to trigger that curse, but yeah.
Yeah.
But yes, it's a magic sword, so it can cut through anything, so that's why he's...
Yeah, but we do get an interesting thing here about the babies.
Yes.
Who swim off, never to be seen again. I wonder, how much of that is they were never seen again, and how much of that is, well, we're not going to talk about it right now. But
let me look this up. But the only other appearance I can remember, there was a quick, I don't know, 2 pages or something in an early Quasar issue where he's looking for a menace from space, but he's trying to catch up to these things under the ocean, but he can't catch them because they're so fast.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, they really don't go into anything. They really don't even show them that much. So it's because look at that, they look weird. Don't they look almost like they almost look like Black Panther, in his costume. Yeah. Babies. It's weird.
Yeah, Panther babies. I mean, technically, we don't know that Namor's the father.
Well, I think that does. Isn't that? Yeah, they kind of made it vague. They're like, wait, who's the father? But I don't know. It seems like they were having pretty good nights in the water base. I don't know.
Anyway, so that's that plot line. And we actually do find out that that was the end of that. Yeah. Because we do ask what happened to Captain Marvel. And we had to wait till next week to find that out. What did happen to Captain Marvel, Phil?
Well, she eventually next issue she returns. She's like all emaciated and stuff. So they rush her to the hospital, and they call her parents in to bring her home. But before she leaves the hospital, Druid's like, "Well, we need to pick a new leader. We need to pick a new leader."
Yeah, I'd pick anyone but Druid.
And he basically uses his powers to manipulate, to basically brainwash She-Hulk and Black Knight and saying, yes, we should have Dr. Druid as leader. He tries it on Thor, and Thor's just like, no.
Yeah, and not for nothing. I mean, you would think that She-Hulk would notice something was up. Anyway, you want to talk about some other comic books this week, Phil?
Yeah, sure. Oh, you know what else I was going to say? No, did you watch the Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania trailer that came out this week?
Oh, I did. I like that. I'm excited about that. You know what's interesting is the character that they refer to for Bill Murray's character.
Yeah.
He's a guy named Kylor.
Ooh.
And Kylor's big thing was he had a machine that could personify your greatest fear. And that's interesting, but it also makes me think of another Microversal inhabitant who we may get to see in this.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. What if Psycho Man shows up? Now that, or that actually Kylor is in fact the Psycho Man, because that would be a real good use for Bill Murray's time.
Could we start getting subtle hints about Fantastic Four?
Oh, well, I don't know if you saw that, but the actor who played from the actor from The Good Place, let me see his name. 1 second. Sorry. William Jackson Harper. He played I'm trying to remember his name. It's a mystery role he's in, but he was on The Good Place as was it Tahiti? Was it TD? He played TD on anyway, so he's going to be in Quantumania in an undisclosed role.
I mean, I'm not familiar with him. Do you think he could be a Reed, Johnny, or Ben?
Well, he could very easily be Reed.
Ooh.
So if did you ever watch The Good Place?
No.
Okay, very good series. He played TD. I keep wanting to call him Ejiofor, but I don't think that was what his last name was. But it was a similar vowel intensive last name. And he was the moral philosophy professor who had to basically explain to everyone in the group Chidi not Chidi Anangonye. So Chidi Anangonye played by this actor Mr. Harper, William Jackson Harper. He was the smartest guy there. He was a moral philosopher, explained moral philosophy to the team every episode. And so basically you wanted a guy who was first off hot and ripped, who could play a super smart guy, who could be a little awkward in his super smartness, but who also spent most of his time explaining complex and difficult ideas to people, but also seeming nice and kind and charming as he did it. So, so the speculation is awry that he may be Reed Richards, especially as Kang is supposed to be a Nathaniel Richards descendant. And, you may notice they're both black. So that is what gets everybody's motors running. I don't know. Maybe he will be playing Psycho Man. We'll have to see. He could also do a great Psycho Man.
Mhm.
But we will see what the story holds. You want to talk a couple of comics real quick, Phil?
Sure. I was gonna say I really didn't have I don't think any Avengers this week, but did you get Thunderbolts number 3?
Of course, you got Thunderbolts number 3. I can say that Egro is the best part of this series currently. um, although it's nice seeing Photon and Blue Marvel waking up together. Nice to see that they're working it out, and that's always that kind of, because you can say it's a May December romance, but also these are superheroes. Everybody is like May and December. It's like even she is like much older than she looks. So
I mean, I wonder too if have they ever gone into that where it's like she can turn into energy and stuff. It's like, is she aging slower than a normal human just because maybe every time she turns
she
to
was
energy
not
she doesn't
human
age?
for a while. In
Yeah,
fact,
yeah.
That was, it's like, she just got a human body back.
Yeah.
And so that's a whole thing. We have Hawkeye playing tag with the Thunderbolts as a training exercise, and although it's great and humiliating, it is also, in all honesty, a waste of time.
Yeah, but it's in character for Hawkeye to do this with teams.
Yeah, although I am so glad we got the Super Apes. Little said no Red Ghost, but the Super Apes now, as they're
on their own.
They're on their own trying to free zoos, because that's what Super Apes do.
You humans.
And again, it was this thing where, the cops are like, yeah, we're just going to throw in a bunch of tear gas and they'll come out, They aren't really a threat, but, Hawkeye needed to show that, no, this is a Thunderbolts level threat. It still works out okay. And I like was it Guts and Glory?
Yeah, yep.
Guts and Glory. Basically gives them both a good talking to, which I think guides them to something better. And then we see who Hawkeye is reaching out to, the one person he hopes can help him through his difficult times.
Yes, his ex-wife. I was going to say, is she just going to come in and be like, okay, you two stop bickering and, I'm taking over?
Yeah, I mean, maybe. We'll have to see. I think he is a better leader when he has a leader. Did you get any other books this week?
Let me see. I did have a few. Like I said, I really didn't have. I'm surprised there really wasn't, I don't think, any Avengers
Yeah, I mean, the closest we got was Thunderbolts, although there was one that is sort of Avengers tangential.
Throw it out.
Well, that's the Variants.
Oh, okay. Yes, I didn't read it.
Variants Assemble, number 4. I think this might be the penultimate book. This is written by, of course, friend of the show and the one of the greats of comic book literature, Gail Simone. And the basic plotline is, so there are all these variants from alternate realities of Jessica Jones that have sort of pooled around. There is this fear that Kilgrave has left effectively a time bomb within Jessica's mind that will make her become a family annihilator at some point. And these team members, which include Jewel, a member of the group that was never captured by Kilgrave, Jessica Jones who eventually became Captain America, another Jessica Jones who is older, wiser, and more angry. And I believe that's that. And then we also have Nitress, which is what if Jessica Jones was the Huntress from DC. And and she had left her a message saying, don't trust them, because she can't trust her other variants, is the idea here. They attempt this seance effectively to draw out the spirit of Kilgrave so that they can exorcise him. they reach out to Charles Xavier because it's interesting because they say, we need you to contact your husband because he is the one thing we need. Wolverine on speed dial, making you think, oh, that's going to be a big fight. No, because what does Wolverine have? Who does Wolverine know? Charles Xavier.
Of course.
And Charles Xavier comes into her brain and deals with Kilgrave. And then at a certain point, Charles Xavier's like, yeah, but you do know that's not actually Kilgrave, right? That's just you. That is just how you've manifested all of your worries about him. Yes, there is a bomb inside you, and you're the bomb because you can't let this go. You can't move on from the trauma of your past. And she again refuses to do so, because Charles Xavier's like, you have to forgive him so you can forgive yourself, which, you can't really forgive Kilgrave. And Charles Xavier even makes this point. It's not really Kilgrave. This is you, but you have to make this effort to release this person, by forgiving him and allowing yourself to be free of him. She chooses not to, but then we find out that actually the one variant she couldn't trust was Jewel the whole time. And she brings in somehow a bunch of other variants at the end, including a Luke Cage variant, a Vision variant, a Thor variant. I don't know who this person is, but I guess maybe it's supposed to be like a Power Girl DC variant. So there's all these other Jessica Jones variants that she's going to have to fight in the big climactic next issue of the Variants #5. I really liked this book. I got the first one. I liked the first one. I got the second one. I liked the second one. I somehow missed the third one. I'm back at 4, and it is really good and a very well written story.
Yeah, I've been wanting to read that. I'm gonna have to just sit down and read them all at once. Sometimes it's better that way. But no, but back to Thunderbolts #3. Remember when we talked to Jim Zub? I'm hoping, because I think this one's going to 5 too. I'm hoping there's time for him to explain who Guts and Glory really is, because I don't want him to leave that hanging and then wait for someone to pick that up.
Yeah. I will say I do love more of Urgo though.
Yes.
Who is just the breakout star of the Thunderbolts.
You only do ultimate attack.
Yes. No, don't do ultimate. And now you have left ultimate attack's gun into the scene. So now at some point before the end of this, we will have to see Urgo's ultimate attack.
I know it's there'll be a lot of collateral damage, but we'll the threat will be gone. Yeah. No, do it.
I do love his statement that reliant on breathing, that was your weakness. You biological beings, Oh, Urgo. He's so delightfully sociopathic. All right, Philip. Do you want to just call it a night? Because this was
that's fine. Like I said, it wasn't a big week for Avengers books.
Yeah, but it was fun, and sometimes, Philip, there can be quality over quantity.
Exactly.
And sometimes you just want a half-hour podcast instead of a 90-minute one. And if people like the half-hour format, how can they give us money or tell us about it so that we can keep on trying to keep it under a half hour?
Well, if they want to make that request and rain money on us, yes. Well, you can always send us your thoughts. Oh, I know what I could do next. Here, let me pull the schedule up for next week. Because yes, I kind of threw this story in because there was some Namor in it. Because he's appearing in a big movie soon.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
I can't wait for that movie.
It is said to be it may even be better than Black Adam. So.
I know. I'm looking forward to them. All right. That's right. Oh, next week we're getting more Namor. That's right. We're gonna cover Namor the Submariner 15 through 18 next week. The 1990. I believe that's John Byrne. So.
Oh yes, that's when he was wearing the suit. Oracle Technologies.
Yes. Yeah. Because we're gonna do 2 weeks of Namor, and then the last 2 weeks we're gonna do some Black of the month. We're gonna do some Black Panther. So yeah. All right.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, sir. All right. So, yes. So send your thoughts now. Next week, Namor the Submariner 15 through 18. Email your thoughts, CapesandLunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find Avengers Declassified on Facebook, on Twitter. Find links to all the various social medias for all the shows we do. Follow them all so you know what we're all up to on the Marvel side, the DC side. The YouTube channel, you can watch all of these episodes in video on the YouTube channel. So again, smash that subscribe button. So yeah, you'll be informed when a new episode goes up.
Mm-hmm.
Smash it.
And of course, the Patreon. Again, we're paying for this out of our own pocket. It's a labor of love, but $3 to $5 gets you early access to creator interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats. This year, we'll be wrapping up the superhero movie brackets, finding the worst superhero movie of all time, and patrons. Whoever's a patron at the time gets to vote on what we do in 2023 per Love Hellfire's orders. So yes, so if you want to tell us what to do, subscribe to the Patreon.
If you want more topless movie reviews, now is the time to stand up and demand them.
Yeah, kids. I don't know. I'm getting kind of sick of bad movies. If you want us to pick the best superhero movie of all time, I'll maybe not for that more than the worst. So yeah.
He-Man, Masters of the Universe. Thank you very much.
What'd you say? He-Man and the Master of the Universe?
Oh, that was with Dolph.
I'd watch that. Yeah.
Oh, that was a brilliant film.
With a young Robert Duncan McNeil, Tom Paris that was in that movie.
Yeah, Billy Barty's in that movie.
Yes.
And
yes.
Honestly, I say we just do all of Billy Barty's best films. So you have that and Willow and Under the Rainbow.
Unless we do reviews. Yeah, when we talk to Lilith, maybe we'll be like, hey, 1 month we'll do a Charlie pick, next month we'll do a Lilith pick, and we'll do a Bill pick, and maybe, yeah.
Man, if I could find a way to get Under the Rainbow relatively easily, because Under the Rainbow, you put Under the Rainbow, He-Man and Masters of the Universe, and Willow up against each other. That's like 3 great Billy Barty films. Billy Barty's only a smaller role in Willow, unfortunately, but he was getting old. Yeah. That was his Gandalf era.
I was gonna say I'd watch Willow and Masters of the Universe. It's been so long since I've seen either one of those movies. I'm like, I'll watch those again.
They're really good. They're really good. But Under the Rainbow is also a very good film too. It's so hard to find. It's a Chevy Chase film, so if you can get beyond that, it also has Billy Barty in it, so it's pretty good.
All right, so yeah, see, kids, you could tell us to do stuff like that on Patreon. All you gotta do is subscribe. The Capes and Lunatics and Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks merchandise. Also, just a random Cash App link. So, like Lil says, just rain random money. Well, like Rob Southgate says, just rain random money on us.
Make it rain.
All right, so find it all at Linktree, linktr.ee/Capes and Lunatics. All right, Mr. Avenger himself, Charlie Esser. Where can people?
Well, they can always write to me in that old-fashioned email way the way our mothers and fathers once did at superconnectivityblog@gmail.com. That's superconnectivityblog, all one word, at gmail.com. And, of course, follow me on the Twitter as I live tweet things when I feel like it. And Elon Musk isn't watching. At Charlie Esser, that's CharlieEssser. Look for the 2 E's in the middle.
For quality. Bing!
Thank you, Oz. You have listened to the end of another episode of Avengers Declassified. Next week, we will return to tell you more untold tales of the Avengers, which we're actually told because we're getting them from the books. But still, it's all very clandestine. This podcast will self-destruct eventually.
And more Namor. That Namor guy.
Yeah. I really hope they actually give us a really old Namor.